What's up guys, Mickle here, and in this video I want to talk about something that I think is extremely important. We know that XRP is completely disrupting the payment sector. The fact that XRP has the potential to disrupt a company like Swift is nothing short of staggering and shows how great the opportunity of investing in XRP really is. But over the last couple days there has been a clear narrative shift that Ripple and XRP are disrupting so much more than cross-border payments. They are getting ready to flip the entire financial system on its head. In this video, I want to show you guys exactly what this means, what Ripple and XRP can achieve outside of payments, but most importantly, what this would do for the price of XRP. I want to show you guys how much disruption XRP can really have on our financial system, because I think it's going to make you guys so much more confident in the asset you own and help you realize how significant XRP and Ripple really are. I also want to quickly take you guys through what we're expecting out of the Ripple SEC case this week. It looks like this week is going to be a huge week for this case. I want to quickly go over what we're expecting and what it's going to mean for this case going forward. Last of all guys, make sure you stick around till the end of the video. It looks like Ripple is once again signaling that the Riddlers have been right this entire time. You guys are not going to believe this. Make sure you stick around for that. Like always guys, if you are new to this channel or come here all the time, please take a second to hit the like and subscribe button down below. It goes such a long way in helping this channel grow and really does mean so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out the link in the description below. With that said though, let's jump right into it and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, I quickly want to go over what we are expecting out of the Ripple SEC case so you guys are fully prepared for everything coming down the pipeline. So the most important thing that we're paying attention to right now is the SEC has to reply to Ripple's motion to compel. Now, Ripple's motion to compel was Ripple asking the SEC to answer a bunch of questions, essentially having to do with why the SEC chose to go after Ripple in the first place. Ripple was asking them things such as, hey, which sales are you specifically worried about? Which one constituted a contract with XRP holders? Stuff like that, but the funny part was that some of it was actually as simple as, hey, this speech right here of Bill Hinman talking, is that Bill Hinman? And stuff like, hey, you made this claim about Bitcoin. Do you recognize that you made this claim about Bitcoin? But the SEC just refused to answer almost any of it. They responded with the stuff like, hey, we don't know if that's Bill Hinman, or hey, the term Bitcoin or the term Ethereum are too broad. We can't answer this. Clearly that is absolutely absurd, so it's going to be very funny to see what the SEC has to say about this. Ripple has already called them out on this BS, and now the SEC is going to be expected to bring a motion to the court saying why they actually couldn't figure out whether Bill Hinman was Bill Hinman or why suddenly they don't know what the term Bitcoin is. That's going to be pretty interesting to watch. We also know that we are waiting for a motion out of the court on the attorney-client privilege over the Bill Hinman emails. Now, I saw Jeremy Hogan speculating last week that he expects that to be in by the end of this week. This will be a huge decision because this is the last privilege claim the SEC can try to make over the Bill Hinman emails. So if the court does deny attorney-client privilege being applied to these emails, then the SEC is gonna be in big trouble. They are not going to be able to stall handing over these emails any longer unless they actually appeal to a Second Circuit court. Now, most of the lawyers following this case do not believe this would go through either way, but it's going to be the SEC's last chance of not handing over these emails. Many people have speculated that the SEC would rather settle than hand over these emails, so this in no doubt is going to be a huge week because them losing the attorney-client privilege claim is going to be one massive step closer to the SEC having to settle this case without exposing their own corruption. Now, with that said, I really wanted to talk about this. Ashish Burla is one of the oldest and highest up members at Ripple, and he always has some very interesting quotes, and I think it's super important to pay very close attention to the things he says. So this is a quick breakdown of some of the very interesting quotes he had in a recent interview. He said, SEC lawsuit a bump in the road. I completely agree. I think we forget how many other regulators that Ripple is meeting with, how many other regulators that Ripple has already had the blessing from, come. The SEC is just like a stubborn little kid who's mad they're not getting their way. Eventually, they're going to get put into line, and we're going to look back and laugh at the SEC trying to make this claim. Another thing he said ODL raised Ripple net transactions through the roof. That is awesome. That's good to see. It's good to see that Ripple is scaling with XRP, that XRP is going to be a core infrastructure to their payment stack, and that one day is going to do incredible things for the XRP you and I own. He also said Ripple will stick with XRP. I think this is kind of a given, but I think they like to reassure that once in a while just so people don't have to start asking the question. It's better to kind of keep telling people, hey, we're not moving on from XRP, just to keep the confidence in. But the thing that he said that was really important and I thought was just extremely significant and a huge vote of confidence, because it shows how big Ripple is getting and how ambitious they are. Guys, I love to see ambitious companies. I like to see companies who aren't going to stop. They want to keep innovating. They want to keep disrupting. And that's exactly what I see with Ripple. He said Ripple has bigger ambitions than to replace Swift. Well, first of all, those are pretty big ambitions because Swift is a behemoth. Swift does trillions of dollars of transaction volume daily. So the fact that Ripple is already looking past simply disrupting Swift is so insane, so big, and I think it shows how big of a player they are really going to become in our financial system. And if you're wondering, hey, what could they do besides disrupt Swift? What else could they be working towards? Well, you have to remember things like this. This is out of Link2. Link2 is currently building a private decentralized exchange for private equity on the XRP ledger. Stuff like this is absolutely massive. And this doesn't have anything to do with even a Ripple incentive. But I want to show you guys is that the XRP ledger can be used for things so much more than just payments. And there's no doubt in my mind that Ripple and XRP are going to completely disrupt the payment sector. I think Swift is actually going to capitulate and start having to use Ripple's ODL product and XRP to even keep up with Ripple's homemade solution. But that doesn't mean it's gonna stop there. Things like Link2, where they're literally building decentralized equity exchanges on the XRP ledger, guys, that is massive. The more equities, the more value you have flow onto the XRP ledger, the more the value of XRP will have to go up to help create liquidity in the system. XRP essentially acts as perfect liquidity on the XRP ledger. So the more huge projects you have being built like this, the more the price of XRP is gonna have to go up to close the gap and keep the network liquid. And let me say right now, I love the idea of a private equity exchange on the XRP ledger. I think it's genius. It's going to be one of a kind and completely disrupt that market. But guys, it's so much bigger than that. Ripple just invested $100 million in a carbon credit marketplace. They're working on NFTs for who knows what, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot bigger than digital JPEGs. What Ashish Burla is pointing out here is that Ripple is not only going to dominate payments, they're not only going to replace the plumbing for the financial system, they are about to create a whole new version of a new financial system with new forms of assets that we can't even envision right now. And the thing that really brings me back to, and I think is one of the best examples of that, is taking a look at what Apple did back in the day. A lot of people said, hey, Apple's disrupting the phone market. Apple's creating a new, really cool phone. But when you really think about it, Apple did so much more than that. They didn't just create a new phone, they disrupted the computer. They created a pocket-sized computer this big that was more powerful than 90% of the computers on Earth. And they did this all while completely disrupting the gaming sector too. They completely disrupted mobile gaming. And they did so much more on top of that. Think of what they did to the camera industry. They built one of the best cameras out there directly into the iPhone with all these other capabilities. What I'm saying here is what people originally thought Apple was disrupting, which was just the phone, actually turned out to be so much more, but it was almost impossible to envision before it started happening. The more Apple started working, the more developers started building on the platform, and the more Apple could create this all-inclusive solution, the more it just dominated everything. And the term phone turned into so much more than just phone. I think we're going to see the same exact thing with payments. I think we're going to see the same exact thing with XRP. The things we try to envision now, the things we try to comprehend, we almost can't even see because they are going to be so advanced and so far ahead of what we're dealing with right now. And if you want to know what I think that's going to do for the price of XRP, guys, take a look at what Apple was trading at before the iPhone really got released. About $1 to a couple cents. Guys, it's now trading at $149. Do I think XRP is going to do something like this? Of course. People do not realize how powerful XRP is. People do not realize that a move from 30 cents to $100 for XRP is completely possible. No one thought Apple could do it. No one thought Bitcoin could do it. No one thought any of these different assets could make these insane runs, and they always do. You need good tech, you need good execution, and you need a product that is going to disrupt an industry, and that is exactly what Ripple and XRP have. There is no doubt in my mind that XRP could pull off a move that is even more explosive than what Apple did, more explosive than what Amazon did. And why do I think that? It's because they are disrupting a sector that is so much more important. They are literally disrupting the financial system. That's more important than iPhones. That's more important than e-commerce. That's more important than cameras. That's more important than little mobile games. Guys, the things Ripple and XRP are going to do are going to be mind-blowing. They need good execution. They need their tech to keep up. But based on what I have seen out of their team, I have 100% confidence they will be able to do it. Guys, I hope everyone has a great Memorial Day. Thank you so much for coming. Please make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much to me. And with that, Mickle out.